Hey guys, AnimeCore5, and today's topic, we're going to talk about the end war for consoles, and now we're going into talking about something that's really interesting. That's the next thing in the gaming generation. What is it, you ask? Well, that would be handheld console gaming. That's right, you heard me right, folks. Handheld console gaming. And let me explain. So, as you are probably all aware, most of you, or some of you gamers out there that probably don't really pay much attention around the gaming space, but for those who do, I will explain. So, currently right now, there's the whole entire fight between the gamers and the corporates. Mostly the first-party corporates, such as Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft. And what do those three have against with the gamers? Well, gamers want, they want the corporates to basically preserve, their whole entire gigantic library of games. Because, hey, to us gamers, consoles are a thing, and yes, we love playing on consoles. I mean, it's great to have someone to play with. It's also a great way to interact with other people online, and it's also a great way to just ignore reality and just have fun in a virtual world. That's all we want. We just want to explore virtual worlds. We want to go travel on dragons, ride horses, ride a unicorn into a sunset while saving a princess and bring her to a tower and get married. That's what we want to do in video games. We don't care so much about politics. We don't care much about, money's not really a big thing for us in the world of video games, but to the average person who's really not a gamer, that may be a thing to them. But alas, that is not what we're actually talking about, are we? No, we are talking about handheld console devices. Something like the Nintendo Switch. Right? You guys know about the Nintendo Switch? Of course. Well, and recently, there are some new companies that are coming up with their own Switch-like Steam Deck devices, such as Evercade, who are a company that are currently working on creating a handheld device that is basically allowing you to play some retro games. Probably mostly 8-bit. I'm not sure about 64-bit, but definitely 8-bit and probably 16. And there's a trailer over on YouTube. You can definitely check it out. I'll probably try to show like a little clip of it here, but essentially it's a cool, awesome little device, and they do actually have, I think, physical cartridges, so you could actually play a lot of these really cool, awesome 8-bit games. Hell, I could imagine you could actually play Tetris and Pac-Man. Or maybe even Dig Dug. Or, wait a minute, or even better, you could also play Galaga. Oh my god, the great days of Galaga. Man, I remember back in the olden days when there was a game such as, what was it? Namco Museum, where it was a whole collection of retro games. You had Galaga, you had Pac-Man, you had, D-Dug, what else did you have? You had all sorts of other games, and now I don't remember what they were now. But yes, you could actually do that. And well, with this cool device called as the Evercade EXP, you could actually play a lot of these retro games directly on this device. So you could take it with you anywhere you want to go. Yes, I know, back in the olden days, you also had, Game Boy Advance or the Game Boy, but who really, has a Game Boy Advance in their hands now? No one really does. The only people who really do are probably really old style gamers who, I don't know, don't really care much for the new stuff nowadays. Now everybody these days has a Nintendo Switch in their hands. Or, if they have a Steam Deck, they already got the Steam Deck because they pre-ordered it. Right when pre-orders went up over on Steam. So, there you go. I made my point, loud and clear. Anyways, so with the whole entire thing with the Evercade EXP, you can pretty much play a lot of really cool, awesome retro games. Let's see. So you can play games from Atari to arcade. Okay, up to 32-bit. Okay. So basically anything up to, pretty much up to 32-bit, not just 8-bit, but also up to 32. Okay, I'm actually just on Evercade's website looking it up, actually. And yeah, so, I believe you can start pre-ordering now, and the cool thing is, it only goes for $150, compared to the Steam Deck, which, if you have actually been on Steam, or you don't know about Steam Deck, there's 3 different tiers for the Steam Deck. You can get one that's the 64 gigabyte, which is about I think like $300 to $400. Then you have the mid tier, which is about close to 500. And then you have the most godly awesome tier of all, which grants you 600, plus tax and all that delivery fees and other stuff. But of course, it's not really out in the actual retail market. So, in order if you want to get yourself a Steam Deck, you have to either, well, there's 2 different ways. The first way is you can go check out the prices and figure out when you can get yours. If you go on Valve's Steam website and you just go there. Or the other bit is you could always just try and go shop somewhere on eBay, hoping to find a good deal, but most likely chances that you're going to end up spending $1,000. And then, of course, you also have other devices that's also coming out, which is Ion Neo, which I believe they have a few other ones of their handheld devices out in the market, which go for about $1,000. And then you also have the 1X player, you have the Steam Deck, you have a whole bunch of those. And honestly, competition is good, but accordingly, what's happening right now in this whole gaming market when it comes to consoles is it's just Microsoft is not really making, is not really making new games and mostly focus on their whole thing with Game Pass, which, hey, it's a good idea. Don't get me wrong. It's not the terrible plan. It's a great plan. Pay $15 a month, and you get access to a whole library of their games, a whole entire library of their games, if you don't want to pay for each individual game that goes on sale or whatnot. And then, of course, Sony also has theirs with their whole PlayStation Plus subscription thing, but of course, their whole entire thing with their combating with Game Pass is completely off base and doesn't really make much sense at all. You need some more details? You can definitely go browse around on other YouTube channels and they'll tell you exactly why. And then, of course, you also have Nintendo Switch with their whole eShop online experience thing where you can play some of their emulated games, but not all of the games from the past generation of consoles are on there. So, yes, you could play Ocarina of Time, you could play Majora's Mask, you could play some of these games, but not all of them are going to be available. And this is why you should think about just going full on PC mode, because if you have a PC, you can totally go pirate those games with an emulator. Just get an emulator, go to several different ROM sites, and you could check all those games out that you want, whatever game that your so heart desires. You want to play GoldenEye 007, but it's not available on Nintendo Switch, and it's not available on their online shop channel? Oh, I know! I will just go directly download on the ROM site and I can play it! Yay! Freedom! I have freedom of games, and that's why these first-party game companies are not doing their best to preserve first-party games from their past consoles. All the good first-party catalog worth of games are not on there. Oh, and Nintendo is doing a poor job of coming up with a good solution to solve out this problem. And that's why I go full PC, because with PC you have access to it. Not just and it's not just emulator games. It's not just emulators and you can play games on there, but you can also play games on Steam, through Epic Game Store. There's several different sites, different stores you can also, download games from. You have access to all those things. And when it comes to currently what's happening in the gaming space is that the console domination thing is pretty much gonna go. And what are people gonna do next? They're gonna go to the next big thing, handhelds, because Japan, because hey, a lot of people in Japan really pretty much play would rather go the route of handhelds. I mean, honestly. Most of them play either on their smartphones or they play somewhere else. They don't actually play, literally, they don't play on consoles nowadays, literally. And obviously, with these companies like Evercade, Ion Neo, and several others, it's going to be a really, really interesting new gaming revolution in the gaming space, because now it's we're going to pretty much be leaving the console generation behind, and we're going to pretty much go the route of handhelds. And now don't get me wrong, I love consoles, I do. The problem with consoles is that you can't carry them with you everywhere you go, but with something like a handheld, you can. You have a Nintendo Switch, you can bring it along with you, because it's a hybrid console. Therefore, it functions both as a actual home console, but also functions as a handheld. And most people use their Nintendo Switch as a handheld. I've seen plenty of kids walk into a Target with their Nintendo Switch. I haven't really seen many with a Steam Deck, mostly because I know a lot of people don't actually have a Steam Deck, and it's hard to get one. So, there you go. Plus, there is actually currently right now a PS5 emulator for PC that's currently in development. Did you know that? Yeah. There's an actual PS5 emulator that's currently in development. So, if I want to play some PS5 games, all I just have to do is just download an emulator, and boom, I can just start getting some PS5 ROMs to run on an emulator. I don't need to get myself a PS5, and besides, okay, if the PS5 was more available, like if stores had them completely in stock and they weren't, out of stock at all, I would probably be willing to get one. But considering that most of the time I'm playing on PC, hey, I'm totally fine with just wanting to just play on an emulator, because emulators are cool. And not to mention that emulators are yes, I understand, you're not paying, the person who developed the emulator, but at least, hey, it's another great way to preserve games. Emulators and ROMs are pretty much the only way how you can actually get a hold of all those past games that, let's say you sold your Nintendo Wii, all right? And all your games that you had previously were on there, but then all of a sudden, once you sold your Nintendo Wii, you forgot to completely, put all of it on maybe a external hard drive or something, and you don't have access to it. What do? And then let's say, you just moved into a new apartment, and let's say in your new apartment that, I don't know, let's say that, you decide to get yourself a PC. All right, you got yourself a really cool, awesome PC. You just set it up. Now you want to maybe trying some emulation. So you decided to go out and about and to search around. You found yourself a good Nintendo Wii emulator. You downloaded it on your PC, and now you can go find some games. And then, of course, you can look at your list of games that you probably remember playing in the back of your mind, and then you just download them, install them, and boom, you can play all those games on your PC. And yes, I understand you would probably still need a little sensor bar and the Wiimote nunchuck, but there's probably other ways around it. So, and yeah, and in the realm of video games, that's pretty much the thing. All right. So yeah, the whole entire new thing with gaming is now we're gonna go into the realm of handhelds, which is gonna be the new gaming market, which is gonna be a really big, gigantic piece of a pie. And then probably about several years down the road, not sure, it'll probably be maybe around 2024 or 2025. You'll probably end up seeing a lot of people walking around with a handheld gaming device, whether that be the Evercade EXP, a Steam Deck, a Nintendo Switch, an Ion Neo, and there's probably several other ones that are gonna come out. But yeah, I'm definitely, I'm actually probably considering about maybe getting an Ion Neo Air, because I know the Ion Neo Air is gonna go for about $280 something dollars. It's not gonna go for over $1,000, unlike Ion Neo's past ones. But yeah, and not to mention that there's also the 1X player, which I forgot to mention, and the 1X player is also another. It's also another form of a handheld device as well. So, and yeah, and so yes, so now with the Steam Deck, you can basically pretty much take your PC gaming on the go. Instead of being at home playing on your PC, you could just actually, take your Steam Deck with you, and then plop it wherever you are, and just start playing games. I mean, it's pretty much like a portable PC anyway. So you have access to pretty much, the Steam library. You can also download some OSs. You'll have a whole bunch of access to many different things. And yeah, and honestly, I'm not really interested in Game Pass. I mean, I've tried Game Pass. I've really tried. I've tried so hard getting into it. I can't get into Game Pass, and I'm not willing to. I just feel like I can't really spend money on just paying $15 a month for games. Instead, I actually rather prefer to just buy games individually of whatever games I want to play. I mean, and if I want to actually just rent a game to just try it out, there is still a site called GameFly, so you could actually just use GameFly, but I'm pretty sure that's not really actually talked about nowadays in this day and age, obviously. But yes, feel free to post any of your comments in the comment section down below. Definitely make sure to hit the subscribe button and bell icon, because you do not want to miss any videos that tend to go up on a weekly basis. Although on the week of the 12th, I will be gone. I will be in Oregon. You will not be seeing any videos from me, nor shall they be posted. The only way you can still stay in contact with me while I'm on vacation is probably directly through Discord or Facebook. Yeah, I mean, I do have a Twitter account, but I don't really interact on Twitter because Twitter is a dumpster fire, and honestly, I don't care. I don't care about goddamn Twitter. Keep Twitter fools out of my life. I don't want Twitter. I don't want to have anything to do with Twitter. And yes, you can also join my Discord server. The link is in the description. If you have a problem and you can't seem to gain access to it, just message me in the comment section down below. I will give you a new link to the actual server, and you can hop in. You can chat amongst other friends and other goodness as well. I'm also on Facebook, so yes, the link is in there. I have a Facebook page. The link to that is in the description, alright? And everything else, stick around here for more Let's Play, such as Let's Play Scarlet Nexus, Let's Play Tales of Arise, more anime runs, gaming runs, anime recommendations, anime reviews. The list goes on. I will have more content coming in the upcoming weeks, so be sure to come by as much as possible, alright? With that, like to end things off here. This has been Anime Core 85, and I shall see you guys next time. Take care.